Hello and welcome back to another Precious HD video. Today we have another player review at full potential, and this time it is Laporte or Laporte, however you want to say the centre-back's name. I believe this guy is actually a French centre-back and he plays for Athletic Bilbao. So, just before we get started, I did just want to disclaim he has actually gone down one rating now by default on the newest update, but this section of the career mode was simulated before that rating occurred. Obviously, I'm not going to always keep up with the constant potential updates. There will be some out-of-date potentials and will be some out-of-date updates. But overall, the potential is very, very similar still. So let's get straight into it. You can see that Laporte, he progresses quite well. His aggression didn't do too well, but his interceptions certainly did. And you did see slight progression, and especially speed-wise, which was his weakest point apart from agility and balance, and I'm glad that his speed did reach around 10 plus ratings in both respects of acceleration and sprint speed, because that's positive. Then stamina wise, he absolutely bosses it out. Strength, he gets to a 90 in strength, which is just simply insane. If we look at his skill attributes now, you can see I have gone down to the one section level of the skill attributes where you see the most important defensive stats, and slide tackle and stand tackle are up there with the best centre-backs in the world. The weird thing is, his slide tackle grew more than his stand tackle, quite considerably as well. It started off 3 less and then ended up 3 more, so I don't know what was going on there. His short pass improved dramatically, 22 ratings, and the weird thing about this guy, he didn't follow the ruling. The ruling that I've came about. Normally, I'd come about that the player would either go up consistently, so one stat would improve by 5, another by 6, 7, maybe another by 3 or 4. This guy had difference in growth in different stats by 10, 20. It is insane. For some reason, his short pass flew up a massive 22 stats to an 80. Don't know what was going on there, but his marking only went up 10. Yes, his marking was already better, but still, you see how the consistency has changed with Laporte, and he is one of the exceptions to the ruling, which I'm sort of seeing. And as this sort of collection of videos progresses, these player reviews, in the end, I'm going to ultimately come up with basically an idea of how the players grow and an idea of how to make them grow in the best possible way. So, my overall thought on the guy, I don't normally do this, but I'm going to give him a 4.5 star rating out of 5. This is because I think this guy is slightly better than Musacchio, because although he's not maybe quite as fast, his strength is awesome, and he does grow to be a pretty fast centre-back anyway. He contenders to be the Thiago Silva of the next generation. Of course, French though, not Brazilian. And I think he's slightly better than Musacchio, but I don't think he deserves a 5-star rating, because sometimes he seems to be slow growth-wise. First season, you can see it's quite a slow growth, and you're paying from 12 to 18 million for a player that isn't really quite worth that much at his current age, especially only at 80 rating, not 81. I would say you'd slot straight into a 4 or 5-star team. He would definitely be in a high league club, no doubt in my mind. I mean, Athletic Bilbao are already a high league club, and he is suiting perfectly there. Like I've already mentioned, 12 to 18 million, depending on your inquiry or whether you're just scouting. It really does depend on your career mode, but really, there's always about a 10 million gap between buying and selling as soon as you get past that 10 million mark. His USPs, well, he's a popular choice. That doesn't really make him a USP in a way. It's sort of contradictory of that, but he's unique because he's popular. That's a weird thing, because a lot of players want to play career mode to try and find the most unique possible players, but what's unique about this guy? People buy him anyway. He's a very popular choice whilst being not, it's hard to explain, if you know what I mean. He is basically a popular choice, but then people don't buy him because everybody says that he's a popular choice. So if you go ahead and buy him, then maybe people might not have bought him. I mean, I haven't saw him in many career modes on YouTube. I specifically watch around Darks, MGH, Masterworks. Haven't saw him in many of them yet, to be honest. So, if you know what I mean, then he doesn't really progress in the same way, or isn't really a standout in the same way that you would expect. He is young and can grow really quickly, although sometimes he can have a real off season. He will do amazing one season, then do terrible the next. But he's consistent on the field anyway. Maybe growth-wise he isn't, but on the field, week in, week out, he will put in a performance, be rock solid at the back, and he's a tall, powerful centre-back, which is more of a positive. He's so powerful in the air, and trust me, if they get through your midfield, then they will not get through your defence. It's the same situation in my main career mode. They can't get through the midfield, so they play the long ball over, but it's always won by my centre-backs because they're strong, powerful presence on the pitch, and they really rally the team. And despite the fact that he is so young, which is a positive, he's got an easy 10-15 years left in him. He's got the whole career mode amount of time left in him until he retires, which is amazing because that is rare in players already rated 80, 81, and he will be 88 by the age of 24, 25, maybe 26 if you are a bit of a late bloomer. But he is pretty much, in my opinion, one of the best centre-back options for the 5 and 4-star clubs, and he is affordable, but with investment. With Everton, I was interested in him, but I just couldn't afford him if I wanted another player as well. So, if you only need a centre-back, then he is perfect. But if you don't, then you really would have to invest a lot of money into him, and a lot of your other money wouldn't go to someone else. So, really, whether he's best value for money in the long term, for sure. In the short term, with a team like Newcastle, probably not. With the 60% increase, though, which you may get in your perks if you've been playing career mode across FIFA 14, then that's only on next gen, I believe, the perks. But yeah, if you have got that, then that could probably be that 60%, maybe could be Laporte, depending on what's happening with all of that shenanigans and stuff. If you are a team like Barcelona, buy him and loan him out straight away. You could probably do with Vermaelen for one season, and the second season he comes back and he'll be awesome. So that does bring this player review to an end. If you did enjoy, make sure you smash the like button below, and make sure you suggest your players as well. I'll say it every episode, and I will, like I said, be getting around to your suggested players soon. Thing is, I had a list of players that I'm already doing pre-scheduled. I'll be going through all of them first. I think there's about 18 players altogether. That's with all the ones that I've already done. So I will sort of speed up these a bit. But, you know, you guys prefer the normal series career mode anyway. So these videos will be slightly sped up a bit. And then I'll get to your suggestions, such as Adam Target was one. And I'll eventually get to them as well. There's been way more, like Will Hughes, etc., etc.